In a first-of-its-kind competition, 4 agencies have been challenged to reinvent an Amazon listing, to be judged on the creativity and execution of the listing's visual language and its copywriting. To help them, they had unlimited use of PickFu, a consumer research tool for Amazon sellers and businesses of all kinds. This is The Amazing Listing. Welcome to The Amazing Listing, powered by PickFu. I'm your host, Anthony Cofrancesco. The Amazing Listing is a competition for agencies around the world to create the best possible listing. But this listing is not any old product. We asked agencies to bring a fresh perspective to GermShark, a hand sanitizer brand created by veteran Amazon seller Kevin King. Now, Kevin has been selling on Amazon for more than 20 years. And in fact, he created GermShark right at the beginning of COVID-19, just as the demand for hand sanitizer was picking up.
This is right around the time when you were seeing all kinds of stories about price gouging and guys going and U-Haul trucks and wiping out dollar stores and just things just blowing up on Amazon. It's like, no, it might sell, but I don't want to get involved in that. I don't want anything to do with, this is just going to be another hoverboard or another fidget spinner, another, trend of the day.
Despite his initial hesitation, Kevin looked at the Helium-10 numbers and realized this product had longevity. So he developed the GermShark brand and took sales to more than $1 million in just 2 months. Just as he was getting ready to launch some new products to the GermShark line, we approached Kevin and talked to him about the amazing listing. We also invited Karen Thomas from Helium-10 to serve as a judge. Now, Karen is an expert in listing optimization, both as a seller and as an agency owner.
So obviously the key is quality, making sure that you are giving the very best quality possible. That takes learning. It takes learning the trends. It takes making sure you're learning the latest techniques with photography and video and different fonts and graphics. It's a constant journey. And, again, I've learned from experience that what worked, a year ago may not work today.
So what works today? Arguably, a main image is one of the most crucial aspects of a listing. Our 4 agencies submitted these 4 entries. Kenji ROI is an agency based out of Canada, run by Danny Carlson. Danny currently lives in Bali.
If the lighting is not really bright and good looking, it's just going to be very dull against the Amazon's mandatory white background on the main images. So a lot of people, they make this mistake, like the product lighting doesn't look that dull, but in comparison to the pure white background on Amazon, it does look dull. So it just has to be professional studio lighting to stand out.
When it came to the main image, Kenji ROI decided to include the product packaging. Now, this is a little bit of gray area when it comes to Amazon terms of service. In some categories, it's specifically prohibited. In other categories, you can get away with it. Of the 4 agencies, 2 included product packaging and 2 did not.
Yeah, I picked the image of the box with the following bottle. Number one, I eliminated 2 of these because they don't show the package. It can make a huge difference in convincing people to buy and helping really sell your product if your packaging is good.
Now, one of the agencies that didn't show the packaging was Zon Photo, run by Vadim Petrovs out of Latvia.
For this main image, it's a very great technique to stand out on page 1 is to make your product fly in the air or tilt it to the side.
The direction of your product can really help you stand out from your main image. I've recommended and had main images where the product is diagonally pointing towards a title to the right, and that's proven to do really well. That also helps be different. It helps it stand out more instead of just straight up and down. It's interesting. So of all these options, I chose Zon Photos as the winner just because it was the most TOS compliant. It didn't have the product packaging in the image. But if I was choosing, what I would prefer, I would choose the one from Prime Label Studios. I like the placement of it. I like the packaging, and then I like that they really made it big.
Prime Label Studios is an agency based out of the Philippines. Here's one of their team members, Raymond Ramos.
Well, our first impressions was let's go for it. Our creative team and I personally, we're all a competitive bunch. It's a bit of a see-through product. They made sure was number one, to get the right angles or to get the right perspectives, wherein not too much of the transparency would be seen, but the product still wouldn't be compromised.
So Kevin likes one photo, Karen likes another. This is the perfect time to take these options to PickFu and see what real shoppers have to say. Using PickFu, we surveyed 50 Amazon Prime members to test which main image they would pick, and the majority chose Kenji ROIs. It showed the product packaging and one large bottle of the 3-pack.
I mean, me and Kevin, we thought we knew what people would like, and it's oftentimes way off. So it's like, you got to have the actual evidence. I think it's so essential to really split test and know exactly with evidence what's really going to resonate with your customer. Now, I've tried many times and I've had a lot of success. Sometimes I'm spot on, and just doing the research myself, I can have good results. But I've seen more times than I want to admit that even when I think I know my customer's why and I think I've got it right, when I actually do the test, that it's really surprising what the customers actually show. And I think PickFu is such an invaluable resource to know with concrete evidence what's sticky.
Shared Studio certainly thinks so. Shared Studio is an agency based out of Miami, Florida, and it is run by a husband and wife team, Anna Akumova and Rafael Velos Zambrano. Now, if you can believe this, during the course of the competition, Shared Studio ran 36 PickFu polls.
It surprised me when they picked an image that I didn't pick. The audience was like, I wanted A, the audience wanted B, C. I was like, why? But then you get the comments, why they prefer it and why they dislike something else. And then you like kind of understand, like, oh, right.
I do remember thinking it's surprising how thoughtful and deep sometimes the feedback was. I kind of didn't expect the answers to give so many insights.
Now, one really clever thing that Shared Studio did is they used PickFu in combination with stock photography to kind of gain inspiration and see which setting should be used for their lifestyle shoot.
With stock images, it was a supermarket, another location. So the audience picked supermarket. So we went and took that picture. It was sort of, we got the inspiration from there.
So what I would be looking for here in lifestyle is you want to place the customer in a common scenario. Where would your customer most likely be able to be using your product? And in our case, since this is a small travel size, they would not be using it in their house. It needs to be on location. And then I would try to find something, what's the most common place that people may use it? If you just came from the bathroom, you would be washing your hands, hopefully. So why you have a sanitizer there? And most bathrooms have a little sanitizer on the wall or a little stand. So that doesn't make sense. And notice the one at the bathroom, the hand is over the brand, thumb is over the brand. You can't even see the brand. The bicycle one, a lot of people are out riding their bike, but why do you really need it when you're on your bike? The last one there with the shopping cart, that's one everybody can relate to. You're going to the store, most stores, even before the pandemic, had the little wipes so you can wipe off the handle. And so that's one that scares a lot of people.
Zonphoto took an interesting approach to its lifestyle image. It's an interesting shape and shows 4 scenarios all in one, including a grocery store shopping cart.
What would most people choose would be just a rectangular shape. I did try rectangular shape. It didn't look as good. As I said, it's to underline the depth. It's to create the depth of the image.
One of the things about images on Amazon is you have to assume people are not going to blow them up. If they blow that image up, it'll be clear that this is a hand touching different kinds of handles and things. If they don't blow it up, it just looks like a jumbled mess.
I think they had the right idea. I couldn't really tell what they were doing in some of those. One of them, it looks like they're grabbing onto a door handle, one a shopping cart, and then the other 2, I couldn't tell what those were. So again, I was confused, and anytime a customer is confused and they have to think too hard, then that's not a good sign.
On Amazon, the best use of your image slots is to combine photos with text in a way that clearly demonstrates the benefits of your product.
I think infographics are crucial to really help you tell the story in a really clear and concise fashion. Picture is super important, but if you can add on a level of infographics using text or, easy to understand icons, then I think that does it even more effectively, because you can clearly state what you want your customer to get from looking at that image.
Kevin gave each of the agencies several of the objections that real GermShark customers had about the products. Let's see how each of these agencies overcame these objections.
Imagery needs to stand out and be eye-catching, and it needs to not strain your eyes or make you stop. It needs to flow. And so this one, it's too busy. The green and the red one is a much better way. It's quicker. You can read this really quick. It's green means go, red means, most people know, means stop or bad.
It did lose me a bit. It looked boring. It's not compelling. I wasn't like, ooh, exciting. I want to read the text. I want to really spend some time looking at the image. It didn't accomplish that for me.
I do remember that coming up with this one was the hardest one, because obviously having so many elements in the actual infographic is very hard. So we tried a witty approach as well as friendly. That's why the little shark is, waving and being friendly.
It has the colors of the brand. So that's important, is you don't want to get away from the colors of the brand too much. So it has the colors of the brand. The shark that's in there is not part of our logo. That's not our shark. So that graphic has to get changed. You need to be consistent with the fonts you use, consistent with the graphics that you use, but the formatting of it is not bad. So Kenji here, you can see there's no consistency. That's number one. There's 3 different color schemes going on. I don't know if I'd use the butterfly on her nose necessarily. I would probably make some changes there, but the fact that there's a face, a smiling person, it feels safe. The way they worded sensitive nose, smell goes away in seconds. That is one of the pain points that some people were saying, that they didn't like the smell, but the way that's worded almost comes across as a negative.
I think it's cute. Again, I like that they have one main point, they have one image, and then they have, the hero of a blown up product shot of the sanitizer bottle. They have the logo. So I think this is a good image. It kind of makes sense that they're drawing attention to the nose, and it's joyful and it's fun, it's light. The next infographic, I'll be honest, freaks me out a bit. It's really hard to read that text. I don't like the red. I would say stay away from red as much as possible unless it's like stop. If it's something that you want to highlight as bad, then use red. I would say minimally use red. It's automatically jarring and alarming. And so yeah, right off the bat, I don't like that infographic at all.
Now, the PickFu panel, they agreed with Karen, placing this infographic behind the other entries. One respondent wrote, "I thought design-wise, it felt pretty messy and hard to read with the info being scattered all over the place, and didn't really have an orderly look to it."
Yeah, I really am impressed with these infographics that this agency did. You can tell I definitely have a preference, and I heavily lean towards simplicity. I really like clean lines and clean text, clean images that are just easy to grasp the meaning very quickly.
All images need to be consistent. You don't want to have a hodgepodge of colors and different types of things. You want consistency. And so the good thing about this versus the last one is that everything is our colors.
They're simple. They're concrete. There's a simple story being told here. I don't like that background green. It looks kind of like throw up, to be honest. Overall, I like just their eye for cleanliness, and it's not too overwhelming with too much text and too much information. So that's why I chose them.
Now, infographics had some hits and misses, but where the product really came to life was in the product video.
I say the best Amazon listings are emotional because I think so often we forget that every human being is emotional. In fact, we are more driven to make decisions based off of emotion than we are logic. And so sometimes as Amazon sellers, we sell using logic, right? We focus on the facts, we focus on dimensions, we focus on the features. And those are all great and they're important. They have their place, but unfortunately, they don't really drive people to make decisions.
Most people are emotional buyers, not logical buyers. A lot of times people are in a hurry on Amazon, so they're going to skim the pictures or watch a video. That's how people buy.
Let's take a look at the first video from Zon Photo.
Bacteria's got no chance against the GermShark. Our savage sanitizing mascot can smell a germ from a mile away.
GermShark protection!
Squirting it once or twice onto your hands kills 99.99% of bacteria. Feel good, we donate for you. For every pack of hand sanitizing gel you purchase, we donate 1 bottle to medical professionals, senior citizens, and others in need. The GermShark contains 75% alcohol and is FDA approved. Ultra fast drying and no sticky residue. Unlike many other sellers, we have a verified USA registered national drug code, suitable for even the most sensitive skin and trusted by medical professionals throughout the United States.
GermShark your hands.
Never get stuck feeling gross again. Wipe out those germs with the GermShark.
GermShark your hands, GermShark protection.
So this video, I don't like the voiceover or the voice talent at all. And some of the copy I don't like. I mean, they are hitting the points of why is this better. They're using like our theme song a little bit mixed in there. It is a little bit dark for me. The colors and stuff, the brand is not a dark brand. It's not a high-end, brand it should be more colorful and playful with the blues and stuff. So some of that bothered us. Some of the messaging in there is good though, where they're showing the different doctors using it, the different people using it, the bacteria issues and all that. But I just didn't feel that this was quite up to the level of a video that we would want.
I like that it was just like one main thing per scene that they're calling out with the text. So that was really helpful. I like the visual that they did with, people actually using the product, throwing it up and catching it and putting it close to the screen. I thought that was really fun, really clever. It was interesting. I like that they had a good use of like stock video footage and then actual footage of people really using the sanitizer. I thought that was clever and smart. I like the overall pace of it. I will say, this is my personal preference, you have to be really careful with a voiceover in the background. And I've tested this many times and I have found that it almost takes away from the emotional response of a video because it's taking away from like the musicality of the background music, and it can be distracting, especially if you don't like the voice. And again, that's subjective, and I think that's why it's so powerful having, PickFu really testing it, crowdsourcing, and figuring out if they like the voice or not, because it can really make or break a video. But personally, I thought in this scenario that the voiceover did detract from the power of the video.
Now, when the videos were tested against each other, some people did mention the voiceover and visuals, but others, they reacted positively to the music and visuals.
General feedback was about this video, was about the voiceover that we used, that the girl that was speaking had a very specific accent. It wasn't pure American English. And we agree to that. If we had been given a budget, we would definitely hire a professional voiceover artist.
The keen eye would see Vadim himself in the video, even wearing the same shirt.
The girl that you could see in the video is our project manager, Linda. She's also the one that has recorded this voiceover. So I'm actually very thankful, and I think she's done a very good job. Given the circumstances and the budget, I think this was a very good video, even though it didn't score that much. Still quite fun, I guess, to watch. It's entertaining.
Next up, the Prime Label Studios video.
GermShark Mini Hand Sanitizer Gel is a must-have for hygiene and to aid in the prevention of illness when you are not near soap and water. Made up of 75% ethyl alcohol. One moment. You can't be too careful these days. The perfect small size for on the go, outdoors, in your car, and fits conveniently in your pocket, purse, or backpack. This pharmaceutical grade mini hand sanitizer is trusted by medical professionals and retailers throughout the United States. Fast drying, your hands will feel refreshed after each use.
For the video, what we were thinking of was like, how do we present this in a way that, we can still use actors, we can still use on-set, on-location footage, but at the same time make sure to, try to give it a bit more life within the branding, because we watched the videos. It's a fun tone to create a video that it still had a bit of humor in it, but at the same time the message wasn't lost. What our video team did, wherein they just spoke with some of the contacts that they had, stand in for a short video, and then add in that sprinkle of humor wherein even the narrator was washing his hands or sanitizing his hands.
So this video is not bad. They're trying to use a little bit of humor in it. It just didn't quite work. Some of what they're showing it's all valid points, but it's just a little bit boring to me. Something like that maybe should be more towards the beginning, not in the middle, because a lot of people are not going to make it to that point. Most people only watch the first 3 to 5 seconds and decide if they're going to watch more.
I really like when people take the time to do like the hero shots, and I thought they did a really good job. You know, really at the beginning, drawing us in. They had that cool effect with the water flowing down over it. I like that they wanted to be more fun and playful with it, but for me it was distracting, and unfortunately I don't think it had the effect that they were going for. So I would say be really careful doing funny. And again, this is a perfect example where you want to test it, because you can really do wonders with something funny, but I don't think this landed how they wanted it to.
Karen's right. Testing humor is super important. You've got to make sure that it lands. Now, somebody should tell that to Vadim, who answers his Zoom calls like this.
Hi, everyone. Hi. Whoa, it's getting hot in here.
So, what did the PickFu panel say about the Prime Label Studios video? Well, one respondent said that they liked that it was meta and it caught them off guard. However, others found it dull, even boring, like an infomercial simply rattling off features.
I would not bring my sanitizer when I'm like raking leaves, right? So that was kind of out of place. But I think overall, like, there was good videography. I thought it was clean. There was some good shots. I just think it needed a more concise, clear storyboard of where they wanted it to go. If you want it to be funny, then I think it has to all be funny, and it has to make sure that it lands well. If you want it to be serious, I think it needs to be serious with like the right music that portrays that feel, right? And if you want it to be cool and hip and fun, then you have to have cool, hip and fun music, cool call outs with the text and the graphics. So yeah, some very good elements and some areas to be improved.
Last up, the product video from Share It Studio.
That was so well done. I love the musicality of that. I'll say it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. If you can really use the music, use the timing, use the emotion, then you've won, right? It was fast paced, it was traveling, it was very easy to grasp what they were trying to portray. I like that when they were giving text, it was just a clean background with the text, and they highlighted different parts of the text. It was fun, it was cool, it was relevant. I really thought it was interesting because I think of all three videos, this was probably the easiest to produce, probably the cheapest. You know, they didn't have a lot of actual model scenes, a lot of situational usage that they had, but I thought it was definitely the most effective. And so I think it's, again, this, if you take the time and you are making the elements on point, then it will carry you so far.
So this video is probably the best of the bunch for several reasons. One is that at the beginning, the flashing lights and the colors and the words get your attention. Also, this one works if you have the sound off. The other two, those videos will not work if you have the sound off as well. This one works. It starts off showing someone putting it in their purse, so it starts off immediately with a use. It's upbeat. The music is engaging. The colors, the flashing. It keeps your attention, and even if you scroll down, if you're not even paying attention, if you're like, scroll over and let me look at something else on the page, you're going to keep going back to it because of the colors and the flashing and the lights.
It was fun to work on the video. So we definitely agreed that we needed something fast-paced and engaging. That's how we came up with the idea to have this upbeat music. And instead of having titles on top of the footage, which we usually do, we decided to go with that kind of, cuts footage than the title on the background. But what I really wanted to do from the get-go is to develop that thought that, yes, our hands, we touch every single day a bunch of stuff and we have a lot of germs, but at the same time, hands is what express our feelings towards our loved ones and people we care for. I think that's why that video turned out well. We didn't just show, hey, this is the product that cleans your hands. We're like, okay, this is the product that cleans your hand and you can give a safe touch. So it just turned out more emotional, I guess, because it's about caring about others.
I don't think they showed anybody's face, but yeah, I felt a connection to this video. I felt pumped up. I felt, wow, this is inspiring a lot of emotion without even using people, which I thought was really cool.
So looking at the whole body of work, from the product packaging to the copywriting to the images and video, all with the help of using PickFu, the winner is Share It Studio.
That's great. Thank you so much. That's amazing.
We're so happy.
Yeah, we put a lot of work into this. A lot of work. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
We cannot wait to see how this will help us grow. And I think that big part of the reason is that we used PickFu so much and we really took advantage of the platform. I think that gave us the advantage, honestly.
I think that was the advantage, that we used PickFu so much, and all the feedback they gave us is what actually made us winners. And ultimately, it's going to make our clients winners as well.
It's amazing that we won, but regardless, we learned so much about what people think, about how they, react, how they respond to what. So it's been a great educational experience for us.
When I saw the creatives from this competition, I was actually really blown away. I thought they all did an incredible job. I was especially impressed with the images and the creativity they put behind, the infographics and really, I think, selling the why, really inspiring emotion and also using a good amount of logic. And I think when you can marry the two of having emotion with logic, then it even helps people feel even more confident making a decision, right?
I mean, I was happy that we were invited to participate on this. Some people don't want to really reveal their products as Amazon sellers, but I feel pretty good about what we've done and what we have, and so I don't mind sharing, especially if people can see that you're never too successful to get better. So no matter how much you're selling or how well you're doing or how much there's always room for improvement. And by using something like PickFu, so to have 4 different agencies do that, we got a couple good ideas off of it. And then the fact that they were using PickFu to really refine everything is great too, because then we get some instant feedback. It was a great success. I'm glad to have been a part of it. And I hope this helps a lot of people.
Honestly, we hope so too. And if you're interested in learning more about PickFu, please check out the description below for more information and consider joining the PickFu agency program. Thanks so much and have an awesome day.